The story about the fact that we only use a small part of our brain's abilities is as old as time itself. Scientists, movies, and TV series stir our consciousness. Telekinesis, genius, superpowers all seem to lie just beneath the surface. But is it really so? In this video, you'll get the answer and learn simple truths about how our brain works and ways to improve it. Do you believe in the mystical 10% of brain usage? Let us know in the comments. But first, let's get to the root of the problem. You might be surprised, but part of the myth is scientifically confirmed. Not literally, though. Several decades ago, scientists did apply the method of probing specific parts of an active person's brain, and it turned out only 1/10 of the neurons were active, which sparked the infamous myth. Furthermore, some medical studies added fuel to the fire. People with damaged frontal lobes and other brain parts lived comfortably without discomfort. Moreover, last year, British scientists completed a comprehensive study, and the conclusion is clear. Even removing half of the brain doesn't make a person disabled. We'll come back to this a little later. For now, let's size up the situation. Indeed, it seems that the lion's share of the brain isn't used. Logically, some might want to utilize it, just like the girls from Thailand. However, there's a catch, and its name is evolution. Would Mother Nature keep anything unnecessary in us, except for the coccyx and appendix, which are obvious vestiges? If you delve deeper into the situation, familiarize yourself not only with the old, but also with recent research, everything will fall into place. Firstly, let's talk about brain structure. Look around. All people are different. Some have better developed motor functions, some think quickly, and others more slowly but brilliantly. We hope you won't argue that this isn't a coincidence and different neurons in the brain are responsible for these functions. Now, we don't need research here. Simple logic is enough. Imagine you're sitting on the couch watching another boring YouTube video. Should the neurons responsible for speech be working? No, because you're silent. What about the neurons for walking? Again, no, because at the moment, your body is inactive, about 90% inactive. So what kind of brain work can we talk about? Let's consider another example. You're engaged in mental work, and the corresponding neurons are working hard. Your brain is boiling, but at the same time, it's not working at full capacity. Why? Because why would neurons responsible for motor skills be running during contemplation? This is the magic of our brain. It's not an endless grail. It's a finely tuned mechanism with excellent energy efficiency. Any laptop would envy how our neurons reconfigure themselves, turning on and off at the right moment, because their work is energy. The human brain, despite its relatively small size, consumes up to 1/4 of all the energy that enters the body, and this figure varies depending on the workload. That's why it's difficult for us to concentrate on something for a long time. The brain consumes all the fuel, and there's nothing left to feed it. Aging is directly related to this factor. Neurons can consume less energy and become less productive. Would you like to see what happens if you engage 100% of your brain neurons? It's an approximate analog of an epileptic seizure when everything in a person's brain activates at once. But do you really need to run, think, compose music, listen to music, watch a movie, and dream about something simultaneously in real life? Of course not. So demanding full output from the cockpit is not worth it. Besides, get ready for its eternal feeding and the associated problems of the body. But that doesn't mean the brain has no potential. It does, just not in the way myths suggest. In life, everything is much more dull. Like any skill, it needs to be trained. Hundreds of scientists or charlatans have dedicated thousands of efforts to this. Sorting through them is not our business. Our business is facts, and there's something everyone should know. Childhood is a crucial stage of human life. The most effective brain boost can only happen at a young age because at birth, a person's brain has almost no connections between neurons. This is easily proven since babies can't walk, see, or hear much. Gradually, they learn everything, and their brains grow connections activating more neurons. It has long been proven that the older you get, the fewer opportunities there are for forming new connections. That's why adults, especially elderly people, find it so hard to learn new things. But it's not impossible for you. Childhood is the key period, laying the foundation for future development. Fine motor skills, reading, emotions, dreams, any activity a child engages in creates neural connections in them, and no one knows what they will lead to in the future. A child who is passionate about origami may discover a talent for playing the piano in adulthood because their fine motor skills are reinforced by numerous neural connections from early childhood. But don't rush to despair. There are techniques for adults too. However, children are our future, so try to encourage them to explore as many areas of life as possible. And now let's return to the topic of removing half of the brain. Here's another surprising fact. In exceptional cases, such an operation may indeed be necessary, and it's remarkable that those who undergo it often remain fully functional. Over time, they regain the same habits and are indistinguishable from themselves before the surgery. Why? Because the brain can rewire itself. If one area is damaged, another will take over its functions. That's why many say that the more knowledge a person acquires, the more they look towards a higher power. Our bodies are remarkably good, and the brain is the cherry on top. So it's better to believe less in mysticism and focus on simple, proven things. Magical pills won't make you smarter, but brain exercises and training will. The same can be said for all areas of life. It's not world governments, Illuminati, or evil scientists standing between you and a well-trained brain. It's only laziness and unwillingness to progress. Remove these two parasites from your path and your life will become much better. Until next time, friends.